Let's now catch up with the former Deputy Prime Minister, Barnaby Joyce, joining us live from Tamworth. Good to speak to you, Barnaby.
No, from Eden-Monaro.
Eden-Monaro.
Which is not... There you go, mate. That's what you see at the back here, Eden-Monaro. So they're almost looking like snow on the high hills, maybe.
Yes, looking a bit chilly. Now, tell me, what do you think of Dr. Denise Van Diemen? Do you think she should keep her job after that tweet about Captain Cook?
I think she should maybe not have got the job if that's her views. I don't think someone should be sacked over a tweet, and I think the left should also bear that in mind as well. I mean, they get almost hyperbolic about tweets. Look, if what someone says before they go to sleep is kind of silly, then leave it at that. But whether she should have had the job in the first place, that's the question. She's obviously a big political player, has a strong political view. Her job is not politics. Her job is to be a doctor. Stick to that.
Indeed. Let's move on to federal political matters and John Barilaro, the Deputy Premier of New South Wales, thinking about putting up his hand for the seat of Eden-Monaro. Would you back him in as the Nationals candidate there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that John, if he wants to have a crack at it, I've done it. I've resigned from my job in the Senate, was Leader of the Senate in Queensland, and came down to New South Wales. At that time, Tony Windsor was still the local member and still standing, and as an unemployed person, stood against him and won. It takes courage. You're going to have really give it a red-hot shot, and if Barrow wants to do that, then more strength to his arm. He shows he's got ticker if he wants to have a crack at it. And I'm listening to them now. Obviously, they've got Andrew Constance trying to line up against him, and they're not going to compete with each other directly, but they're going to compete with each other. Obviously, the Libs want the seat, the Nats want the seat, and the Labor Party wants to keep the seat as well. It'll be fascinating, and I'll be in there backing John Barilaro as hard as I can possibly go.
The point is with John Barilaro, though, that he leads the Nationals in the New South Wales state political scene already. He's Deputy Premier. He's been very outspoken there, speaking out really against some of the New South Wales government's policies, particularly on climate and energy. Obviously, he'd be a potential leader for the Nats if he went to Canberra.
Everybody is a potential leader. I mean, I just don't give any truck to this idea that people say, I never want to lead. If you're offered responsibility, you accept it. And I think that if he has that, I'd hate to say he's coming down here and he doesn't have any ambitions whatsoever, just wants to be hail fellow well met and a jolly good person. But no, if he's coming down, he wants to give it a red hot shot and if his idea of leadership is to take our nation forward and take the party forward, then more strength to his arm. I just this idea that you sit down quietly and say nothing. First of all, it's a lie. Everybody wants to be the leader of whatever party they're in. And the second thing is, if you've got a vision for our nation, if you've got something to do, if you've got something to make our nation a stronger place, if you're willing to articulate it, and then go into bat and fight for it hard, no matter what the consequences, if you're willing to have people not like you because you're fighting as hard as you can for a better outcome for the people of regional Australia, then why would I want to keep you away from Canberra? I'd say, make your way down.
Well, this is the point, of course. You challenged your own leader earlier in the year. Michael McCormack's still there. Would you see John Barilaro as either a rival for you for the leadership in the future or someone you could back in as a leader rather than Michael McCormack?
Back this fella in.
The drover's dog.
Look, I think that he that's another question. He has to talk to the colleagues, but at this point in time, I think that he should just concentrate on winning Eden-Monaro. That's the job in front of you. That's the only thing that people of Eden-Monaro want to hear. I reckon he's a bloody good candidate if he decides to have a go. I don't think it'll be a walk in the park. I think it'll be a very, very, very hard-run thing. If Constance stands as well, it's going to be a very interesting day, and I will revel in being able to get into the political field and help them in whichever way I can to help John Barilaro in any way I can. And, I want my team to win. I want the National Party team to win every day of the week. And this would be something I think he'd have strong following in Queanbeyan. I think he'd have strong following in regional areas. I've got no doubt that Andrew Constance would have the same. I've got no doubt the Labor Party candidate will have the same. And isn't that fascinating? A great thing about democracy, good candidates getting out there, showing people their wares. If the Labor Party candidate gets out there and talks about global warming, blah, 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 well, she won't have a snowflake's chance. If you've got to actually stand behind some key issues that are so pertinent to regional Australia and actually deliver and say how you're going to deliver on them. That's important. You've got to show that you've got a, hate to say a little bit of mongrel about you, that you're willing to have a fight. But anyway, let's see how it goes.
Well, obviously he's got to win the by-election first, and as you say, that's not going to be straightforward. But it sounds like you're already thinking about him as an alternative leader.
No, I just, you know how, Chris, you're in a senior political office. I mean, when someone says to you, I have no ambitions to ever have a higher office, do you look at them and say, oh, noble person, or do you look at them and say, liar?
Yes. Yes, I know what you're saying, Barnaby. Well, we'll wait and see, but obviously he's got your strong backing.